Hello everybody, and welcome back to a book review! Yay! So it's April's book review. I am gonna do a little crochet and craft project while we talk, but I definitely will show off the book, but I wanted to give just a little background to how I ended up with the book of this month. Mainly because I did not expect to read this book. Actually, I thought I was going to have April's book be Gideon the Ninth. Fortunately, I haven't finished that book yet. Whether or not that book is a month book or not, I'm still going to do a book review video on it, mainly because it's quite popular, and also so I can send it to my one friend who really loves the series, because I just think it would be really interesting. How I ended up with the book for April was essentially, I went into my local Barnes & Noble and saw that they were doing a blind date with a book, which I am such a sucker for. I love blind dates with books. I cannot help but be just totally enamored with them. So, when I saw a little horror book that said that it was good, and, had some little winners, and I was like, alright, let's try this bad boy. The only information I had with it was that it was a horror book, and I was like, sick, sweet, okay, let's do this. And essentially what happened was I picked it up, and funnily enough, this is the book that came out. Clown in a Cornfield by Cesare. And I had actually seen this book several times displayed, being like, oh, pick up this book if you like horror. And I had purposely skipped on it because I'm not a huge fan of clowns. There goes my dogs. We're just gonna power through it. I'm so sorry if you hear them. They're definitely getting picked up on the audio, but we're gonna keep going. I'll put some fun pictures. Maybe they'll shut the hell up. So, I thought it was very funny that that's the book I ended up with. Simply because I surprisingly enjoyed the read. Two things that I didn't realize is one, so I didn't realize that this was YA. What can I say about Clown in a Cornfield? I won't give my rating quite yet, but this might be one of the shorter ones. Simply because, the book itself is 341 pages with the epilogue. I guess let's get out of the way the back of the book. Quinn Maybrook just wants to make it to graduation, but she might not make it till morning. When Quinn and her father moved to a tiny town with a weird clown for a mascot, they were looking for a fresh start, but ever since the town's only factory shut down, Kettle Springs has been cracked in half. Most of the town believes that the kids are to blame. After all, the juniors and seniors at Kettle Springs High are the ones who threw the party where Arthur Hill's daughter died. They're the ones who set the abandoned factory on fire and who spend all their time posting pranks on YouTube. They have no respect and no idea what it means to work hard. For the kids, it's the other way around. And now Kettle Springs is caught in a constant battle between old and new, tradition and progress. It's a fight that looks like it will destroy the town, until one homicidal clown with a pork pie hat and a red nose decides to end it for good. Because if your opponents all die, you win the debate by default. So it to me, it really struck me as a, reverse Children of the Corn scenario. Also, minor spoilers, but also that there's a killer clown. I'll be real with you, I dived into this without reading the back cover and not knowing, anything about this book besides there's a clown. Somewhere. There's a killer clown somewhere. The clown's evil somewhere. And I truly, when the clown showed up, because the clowns take a while to come. So when the clown showed up, I was like, oh my god. It was kind of really funny to me in retrospect, how blindsided I was by the serial killer clown. For a YA novel, I'll be real, this book kind of falls into the camp of I'm probably not keeping this book around, even though I really enjoyed the read. I'll be real, there were moments where I skimmed some passages. Not that the book was genuinely that gory, but there were moments where I was like, ooh, this isn't for me. Because as much as I love horror, as much as I love spooky stuff, first of all, not a huge fan of clowns. There goes my dogs again. But also, I'm not the biggest fan on gore, and again, not that this was like super descriptive gory. It was just a tad on the side of like, oh, I'm not really in the mood to read this. Because again, this book was a surprise to me. I didn't realize I would be reading it. Loved how it was written. Great prose, great flow. I truly enjoyed all of the characters, despite the fact that, in my opinion, this book is on the shorter side for what I feel it wanted to accomplish. And this is all my opinion. But I do think that it might have helped the author a little bit with, like, I don't even know if it's the pacing, but there were certain moments where I was like, oh, you know, in my personal taste, I wish the author had lingered a little more on this, like, description or filled in the world just a tiny bit more with, like if this book had 100 more pages, and not just like at the beginning and the end or a chapter, just like scattered throughout, there's like 100 more pages to just scatter throughout this book. Just so that things could breathe a little more, if that makes sense, because there were just moments where I felt that the narrative wasn't necessarily lacking anything, but it might have helped with just a little more descriptor or something. But overall, it was a fun read. I think if you really like horror, this is something to check out. Granted, you know, it's the difference between YA horror and, like, a more horror, like, adult fiction. Again, I still personally think if you like horror, you would like this. It really doesn't come off as that YA. Again, not saying that YA is bad at all. Please don't get don't please. I just do think that there are certain, like, if this were an adult fiction book instead of a young adult fiction book, definitely the gore would be upped. So maybe if you're not a fan of too much gore, this is right up your alley. Characters, interesting. The plot, you know, it kept me engaged. I do think it is quite poignant of a book. Because like the back cover indicated, it is a, like, generational fight that is the backdrop to this whole thing, or inciting incident. And I do think it has some very interesting commentary in terms of how frustrating it is to be, you know, of the younger generation. Like, this even resonated with me, and I'm in my 20s. Just like that headbutting of older folks who may not necessarily, oh, my cat's making my lights go on and off. You know, the headbutting of, say, like, my generation and my generation's parents, like how, you know, 20 years ago, YouTube influencers weren't a thing, or TikTok and that kind of stuff, and how there's different avenues these days to make, you know, different kinds of money, and also not understanding the fact that, like, my generation, it's very unlikely a lot of us are going to be buying houses just because of the general stuff. And oh my god, why are my dogs continuing to work? I could re-film all of this, but I really doubt that I will, so I'll try to make it fun in the edit if I can. If not, I really apologize for the dogs barking. What can you do? I'm trying to squeeze in videos. I've been scripting a lot of YouTube videos, but I have no idea when I'm going to sit down and film them and also do the after effects. There's a lot going on in my life, and it's Ah. Anywho, I'll also say one other notable moment is there is queer representation in here. I say it like that because I love to clock when the gays get a win. And I do think that this one is a win. One of the characters, he's like a love interest for one of the main girls. And, his sexuality does not come into this at all, except nearing the very end. And even then, it's not like it's coming into it. He just kisses another guy, and it's like, oh, that's nice. That's great job. Which I really appreciated, and also, I have to admit, it really threw me. I had to do a double take when I read that bit, because I was like, oh. So some other stuff made sense afterwards. So I don't know. Even though I had intentionally avoided this book, I am glad that I took a chance on that blind date with a book, because this was pretty fun. Let's get into the rating portion of this video, which I am going to rate this, despite the fact that I did just praise it a lot. I am going to give this 2 out of 5 stars. Again, my 5-star rating is all based on vibes. And personally, even though I devoured this in essentially what was one day spread over a couple of hours over a week, this book was really fast to read. I enjoyed it. I was engrossed. Where am I taking points off? I'm just trying not to rate things always too high, because then when I get a really good month book, it'll be like, okay, well, I gave, 4 stars or 5 stars to Without You There Is No Us. And that was a phenomenal book. Compare that to this, yeah, this is a 2-star. It's just a fun read, just to pick up and grab and go. But also it's not like I'm wholeheartedly recommending these books. This book, I might not honestly think about it after a couple of months, and it is a book that's definitely going to be donated. Eventually. It'll eventually leave my shelves and hopefully make someone else very happy to read it. Still, no shade. 2 out of 5 stars in my book is still pretty strong, for what this is. And, it's also probably going to be higher rated by people who's, this is their alley. Yeah, give me some clown horror. Me, myself, I don't really like clown horror. It's, freaky, even though I don't find clowns that inherently scary. So, yeah. So, that was Clown on a Cornfield, April's book. Hopefully I can get this video out before April ends. Just between you and me, if I don't get this up in April, if I get it in the first thing of, May, let's just pretend I posted it in April, okay? There's a lot going on. I'll do a very quick update about other videos. I have one completed video that I hope to get out. I was hoping to do 2 videos this month. A book review, this book review, and another video that I've already completed and finished. Mainly because I don't want my channel to 100% be book reviews. So I do swear to the gods that I am making other content eventually. It's just really tough with work and stuff, and I don't want these videos to look crap, because 1, I use them to practice my skills, but also 2, I like to have fun. I like to edit the videos. I'm even getting better at liking, seeing my face and stuff. So I don't want my channel to just be month book reviews, but for right now, that's the easiest content I have found to kind of just pop out there. So in May, I swear to God, I'm going to say it right here, and I'm going to hold myself to it. In May, I will have at least one other video besides a book review for May. I have a couple of other things scripted that are in the works, so I'm quite excited about that. And I think that's all of the updates. Good Omens video is still getting up there. When it hits 900 views, I don't know. Maybe I'll save it for 1 million. If it gets to like 1,000 views, I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's gonna blow my mind. I have a little new setup there. Maybe I'll show all that off or something another time. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. So, as I always like to do, thank you so much for watching my video, especially if you made it to the end. I always really appreciate people when they, take time out of their busy days to watch a little silly video I've made. I cannot express how much I appreciate it. Thank you to anyone who's subscribed, liked, or commented. Each and every one of you has a special place in my heart. I lose my mind when I see people have commented, or just even when the numbers go up, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's insane. People watch this crap. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope that, you enjoyed it. If you've ever read this book, let me know in the comments below your thoughts. If you have, I guess, any young adult horror fiction suggestions, put those in the comments. I'll put it on my to-read list. And, look forward to bigger and better things in May. I say bigger, better. Look forward to me posting, hopefully, one more video besides just a book review video. That's my only goal for May and my YouTube channel. And yeah, so thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. And, good luck out there.